Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. Yeah, I just had to do that. I'm working out these new features. However, Hollywood is being shaken up. Things are being turned upside down. Things that were done in the dark are coming to light. Things that people have done years ago are facing their behaviors back then. Because now people are like, what you did to me, you're going to pay for. And I'm not talking about P. Diddy. I'm not talking, it's somebody else in the close circle, right? In that close circle. But however, this person right here, he got he got a lot of issues. Danny Masterson. Danny Masterson is really going through it. As he should, right? Now, if he was convicted of Schmeck's assault and grape juice and some other things. But this occurred under the umbrella of Scientology, right? It happened under their roof. And the girls, there was a couple of them that complained saying, he's doing this to me. And they're like, he's bringing in the money. Take it and shut it uppeth, okay? And that's just my words. But however, it took them a long time to get justice. They weren't getting justice under the church. It didn't occur. He just sort of went in the room, something about he, repented over there. He said I was sorry, not to you, but tonight you go back and you got to get in there and do some of the things I want you to do. And don't touch my hair. I'm thinking this is quite interesting. You don't want nobody touching your hair. Okay. Well, that was then. This is now. Yeah, you look a little peak around the gills, right? But however, it's reported that he's saying that he wants to end it all. His wife has left him, scrubbed him out of her life, wax on, wax off. The daughter, they have a young daughter now. I think he'd been incarcerated for about, 4 years? 3 years? Something around that time. While he was going through the motions, he was incarcerated. So about 3 years now, the girls won, and he's in for like 30 years. So the wife is like, look, we've been together for 12 years. We've been married. We got a daughter, and all this stuff comes out. And, I'm thinking, because women will stick by your side, especially you have been wrongly accused. They will stick there and fight right along with you. But I wonder what they didn't show the jury. I could only imagine the information that the wife found out, like, oh, heck no. Oh no, and sort of just said, c'est la vie. You got that? And he's fighting for his appeals to try to get the conviction overturned. I don't know. I truly don't know. Now, if the ladies were Amber Heard, Evan Rachel Wood, Blake Lively, I mean, these women are not them. They're under the Church of Scientology, right? Under that. So, I don't know. I really don't know. But if you really did do this, you are exactly where you belong. Now, the interesting part about the church is that you get away with everything. And then you go into some kind of room and, do whatever. Not saying 10 Hail Marys, but something. But whatever it is, it didn't change the behavior. And it seems like that is a behavior under that church. And the people that don't bring in all the dough They're over there painting Tom Cruise's house for free and that wild stuff. But I digress. But however, it says, meanwhile, Bajao, whatever his wife's name is, whose late parents are the mamas and the papas, Joe Phillips, and the model actress Genevieve Waite, has moved on romantically with the entrepreneur Jamie Mazur. So she's like, yo, dude, okay, ciao. But an insider, Danny has already struggled with ideas of her being with someone else. But now this filing has erased from his daughter's life and is even being even bigger hammer blow. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Men who can't do right by women, they have a tendency to have all girls. It's just some kind of... You don't get away. You may not be in jail, but what you have done will be manifested through your daughters. Or if you're women and you can't do men right and you wind up having a bunch of boys, and what you have done will manifest through your sons. That's how that works. You know, it get you, right? That's called generational curses, but I'm going to leave that one alone, right? But he's really going through it. And as he should, if he's guilty of this, right? So here he's talking about now there's talk that he's so down and depressed, he may wind up doing something radical and trying to end it all. Well, okay, wait, stop. When Danny and men like Danny, when you are doing stuff like that to those women, right? Taking advantage of them, forcing them to do certain things because they're in certain communities to where they don't have rights and they have to basically do whatever a man says to do, especially if he has higher status and it's normally some type of schmeck's abuse. Did you ever stop and think about how they felt? Do you ever stop and think about what they may be going through, or if they have thought about ending it all? Because you do certain things and then they got to see you the next day and then they have to pretend things are normal. Yes, people like that. It's kind of hard to have people like that in society, you know, but there's a lot of people like that, you know. But however, I want to know, this is what I want to know. Because Hollywood is having this big shakeup. People that have been doing terrible things are starting to come to light. People are paying for the crimes they have committed. What I want to know is this. That 70s show. Everyone there were new actors. My question is, what did he do to get that show? To get on there? Actually, what did all of them do? Now, we all know that Ashton Kutcher. Need I say any more? Okay. And if he was hanging out with him, I'm pretty sure he was hanging out with him too. So what did you do? I mean, you know, some people have their parts of their family members eliminated. You do some kind of crazy stuff and then they blackmail you, all kinds of stuff. I mean, because when you sign your name on that dotted line and you want the fame like this, you want everybody to know your name and want the attention. Is it worth the squeeze, you know? Is it worth the squeeze to do all that? To you know, okay, you know, you do what you do, right? But I will say this. There are too many people like Danny Masterson that puts on a mask and you believe that he's normal. You believe that he makes a great father, a great husband. And then all of a sudden, at some point, Because your past always comes back. It always comes back. And it hits you at the worst possible moment. And I think it's designed like that to really cripple you when you're doing well. Because when you were back there, you were doing some terrible things and wrecking people's lives. But when you get your life on track and you're doing good, you got to pay. You got to pay. So I just wanted to know, what did he do to get to that point? What, I don't know, Masons, whatever. You got people doing these things, getting these organizations to, rise up to the top. He accumulated $8 million. That's nothing to sneeze at, but nothing to sneeze at all. But however, he is going to have many more rainy days. He's going to have a lot of rainy days. And he's going to have a lot of thumbs down, all of that. Because he had the sunshine. He had all of that for a while. But then you're going to have to deal with the things that you did in the past. But please like and subscribe.